Hi everybody, and a huge warm welcome to the Earth Dragons Quest of Dragon Journeys. Are you excited to get started? Because I very much am. The Earth Dragons have been singing from the land to us, to connect us, to call to us, to work with them and to work for ourselves and for the land. And we have got so many treasures over the coming week to share. So very excited. So a little housekeeping of how this quest is going to progress. As we've spoken before, if you've done the previous quest, they originally started as weekend quests, but there was just too much magic to fit into just one weekend. So we have the weekend today, I send something out midweek, and then we have our live on the following Sunday. This just gives us a sandwich of time to be able to connect a little deeper. And the Earth Dragons page is open for the whole of the time before we move towards the Water Dragons. So we've got all this space to connect with the dragons. And if you haven't got time this weekend to do all of the work, fear not. But what I would say is if you have got some space, some time to connect in with the land, to connect in with yourself, and to create an altar to dedicate to the Earth Dragons, or to shift your altar around a little bit so it has a focus on the dragons of the earth. So big welcome to this chapter. Today I am sending out all of the work for the weekend, sheets, meditation, and the video. I'll check in tomorrow, but I'm not going to overwhelm you. I just want you to have this material to play with, to dive into over this weekend. And I'll be checking in and sending more of meditations and journeys throughout the week. When we're connecting with Earth Dragons, we're connecting with a big wealth of history, of folklore, and also different types of dragons. We know and we've seen images of dragons coiled around treasure. Obviously the Hobbit has been a big share of that. And deep in the earth there are caves with dragons in. And obviously in the modern age that has been given negative connotations, that dragons are greedy and they covet treasure. And that is a huge sort of misunderstanding, also corruption of dragon energy. There's also a jealousy of that treasure that the dragons hold amongst certain areas of society, and therefore to degrade the dragons, to take away their power and to make them more corrupt in people's eyes is potentially a profitable and good thing. Dragons of the earth coil around sacred sites as well. They are curled up in sacred hills. We can see it in the ridges of Glastonbury Tor. We can see it in islands, like in the castles of Lindisfarne in Holy Island in Northumbria, the coiling dragons around these great power points, these great energetic places. This is about the treasure of the land. This is about the dragon lines and the ley lines and tapping into those great powers. I share it in the sheets that there is an image in Glastonbury Abbey of Glastonbury Tor. And there is, if you look carefully, in the Tor itself, there is a green dragon curled within the Tor. This is amazing to see. It's amazing to see because it's in a Christian church. It's amazing to see because it is a depiction of what we know. We know that there is a dragon coiled within the Tor or around the Tor, but it has been depicted in art. And the other side of the coin is we have the Archangel Michael, I think, on top of the Tor with some beautiful colourful wings, and he is giant above the Tor, and he has his spear. Thankfully he does not spear the dragon. We're having none of that, but he holds the energy of the dragon. He kind of contains it or channels it. This is a changing of power from the old ways of the dragon, of paganism, to the ways of Christianity, where the land energy was at first harnessed by the saints, by the church. And so you'll see that there's, everywhere you see a St. Michael's church, it is very likely to be on the Michael ley line, which goes from Cornwall up through to Glastonbury and then into Norfolk. And it has them. You'll find there's Michael and Mary churches, because you have the two weaving lines, the two weaving masculine and feminine ley lines or dragon lines. So where you go to these places, if you have like Michael and Mary churches, tap into that energy, because there could be dragons lying beneath, snoozing maybe the energy is shifting, maybe they're feeling that their time is returning. Dragons are very much linked to sacred sites for these reasons. So stone circles, tumuli, sacred hills, forests, they are drawn or guardians of powerful energy centres of the land. And so by visiting these places, some of them are very famous, some of them are not so famous. You may well have power spots in your area that actually people have forgotten about. And that can be a wonderful discovery, because you get to connect with that and feel it in a really pure and personal way. So they are guardians of those sacred sites, Stonehenge, Avebury. I'm only talking about the ones in the UK because they're the ones that I know, but obviously the sacred sites where you are as well. And they are guardians of these sacred places, and you can sense them. So Avebury is a huge stone circle in England, the largest in England. And around the main henge, you can see, you can feel. I mean, there's a henge, so you can see the henge is actually the grassy area, the ditch, not the actual stones. But you can see around the grassy area, you can see it in the mound. But there is a dragon, a matriarch that protects that land. And look out of the corner of your eye, you can sometimes see her snoozing, sleeping, opening one eye, or maybe moving gently. Stonehenge has them. All of the power spots, or most of the power spots, still have their guardian dragon. And people have told me before, when I've done dragon courses, that the dragons in their area, they seem very old and very sleepy. And perhaps that's because they've been there for millennia, maybe because they haven't been given that attention, that energy work, and that they have got very sleepy and that they've not had that need to connect. But also, I've seen this, and other people have reported as well, there has been a lot over the last 10 years of new baby dragons, younger dragons coming into these power places. So it could be one of those times where there's a shift in energy as well, the old and going into a different age. So I've been to places in Glastonbury. There's Gog and Magog, which are two ancient oaks, and there's known to be a dragon guarding them. They are ancient, and they are the druidic pathway into Glastonbury Tor. So there would have been many oaks lining that way, but they're the two remnants of these ancient oaks. And you can go there, and I felt very much a presence of a dragon. But it was about 7 years ago-ish. I was there, and the dragon was very old and actually pretty poorly. And I felt a bit, okay, right, that's the end of this era. It didn't want us drumming around it. It didn't want us moving and kind of waking it, like somebody that's on their way to the next part of their journey doesn't want that noise. But then the next time we went there was reports, people were telling me this as well, that there are baby dragons, there are young dragons, there's new energy coming in. So although it's a mournful time of releasing old energy, but remembering the wisdom and lessons of the old, all hope is not lost. There are new babies coming into the world. And I really felt that at Avebury as well, new energy. So here's some of my dragon crystals, my earth dragon crystals. This was the first one that I have, and this one's a real healer of the body as well as the soul. Very grounded to remember to heal your physical self. We'll come into that in a second. This is my adventurer, the small one. He goes out, he loves adventures, he wants to be out and about all the time. And this one holds the energy of the land, more quiet, more forest-like. So maybe you were having, it has to be crystals, you could have dragons that you work with that help you with your physicality, with your healing, and maybe connecting with sacred sites as well. Of course, dragon stick has to always come with us on these quests. So sacred sites, sacred land, of course, is our huge theme of this dragon quest. And also remembering, because there's been a big lesson that's come through, is that our bodies are also sacred sites. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. And they need the same reverence, TLC, care, and empowerment and love as the land needs. And when we work on that love within ourselves, it will very much be reflected in our relationship with the land. So we can't exactly be 100% loving with the land if we're being rejecting parts of ourselves. It's just not going to work. I know you didn't come here for the self-love talk, but we're going to get it. You know, so far on the course that the nutrition card has come up pretty much every time, no matter what element we're working with. Don't worry, it hasn't come out today because we're dealing with it. That's one of the elements. I'm not saying you have to go on a healthy eating trip this weekend, no, or this week. But what I am saying is just tune into your body and what your body needs and give that body patience and kindness and love. And maybe gently and slowly set in something that might help you to gain a better relationship with your body. So the card we did get was this one, Silence, silence. And as fast as I talk, as excited as I get, one of the powers of working with earth dragons is quiet, is presence, is stillness, is listening, is silence, is depth. There are many types of earth dragons. There are those ancient ones, as we've mentioned, around the sacred sites. There are guardians of treasures in the earth, the caves, the land. And when we have those guardians of the caves and the treasures and the crystals of the land, they are protecting the energy of that space. Maybe they've been demonized because we wanted to exploit them. But they are fierce protectors of that land because that land has been attacked. But we can't feel that in speed. We can't feel that with lots of noise. We can feel that with stillness and with silence. So the energy of silence and maybe not seeing time as in clock watching, but the passing of aeons, the passing of moments, but moments that can expand out into eternity is something we can really work with the earth dragons. So giving yourself peace, giving yourself the space to switch off. You know, if time is an issue, and it often is for us, put maybe a do not disturb on your phone for a certain amount of time. And surrender in that time to no time. Surrender in that space to silence, to the to-do list. Can just literally do one. And give yourself permission to be in the land, to be with yourself, to explore, to go on a dragon walk. And find the treasures that you are seeking that are going to be in here. You know they're going to be in here as well as they're going to be out there. So saying going on a dragon walk, if that's accessible for you this weekend or this week, please do. That can be a dragon meander to the park, can be to your garden, but it can be if the land calls you to explore. This quest more than ever asks you to be outside. I was going to record outside, but it was getting a bit peoply, being a bank holiday weekend and all. So I'm going to be going out later to explore the land, to be with the spirits of the land. And maybe you can't today, but sometime this week, find that space to deeply connect and just go to a place that you find is sacred, that you find is connected to dragon energy, and honour it. And that honouring is saying, come from your heart to the heart of the land. I hear you. I am present. I love you. I wish to speak with the dragons, or I wish to know the dragons of this place. And perhaps they would like an offering. Perhaps they would like you to take a bag to pick up some litter. Perhaps they would like you to commit to visiting once a week for a while. Really feel what's doable for you as well. Like, I get very excited and overcommit to everything. But actually to say, if I visit here twice a month and come with my full self, that's better than me kind of panicking that I haven't done the to-do list. So give yourself a quest with the dragons that, I will come to this spot once a month, twice a month, once a week, every day, if it feels right. I'll be in silence. I'll be in reverence. I'll be in stillness. I'll be open to the magic of the land. This is about reconnecting to nature and to the land in its sacred power. Again, it does not have to be a massive stone circle, but it could be a part of the land you don't know much about, but actually you just feel drawn to. You just want to go over there. Trust that. I've seen dragons opening their sleepy eyes in the most unlikely places, as I speak about in the sheets this week. So yes, in parts of the Glastonbury area that aren't connected per se to the tour, I've seen them. But they would probably be in the places where the people would have lived more, in the marshlands, in the lake villages. And also in Oxford Circus. I can talk about this another time in the live if it interests anyone, but that was an interesting experience for me to see that no one would think to go to Oxford Circus and go, there's a dragon beneath here. But I was sitting there and waiting for a client to come, and I could feel this deep and huge and powerful, kind of grumpy but interested energy from deep under the earth. And I was like, wow, okay, there's a dragon beneath Oxford Street. Who knew? Probably people did know, but it may have been forgotten. So the main quest for today, for this weekend, is to, of course, make your altar earthy. Bring in a bit of nature, create the colours or the energy that you think is very earthy and connected to the land. We've got the meditation to do, which is very gentle and healing and wise. I'm not saying I'm wise, I'm saying that the forest dragons that came through in that journey were wise. And if you can, be in the land. Find time to be outside. If you can put your paws on the grass, all the better. And there's more to come, of course, but I'm not going to overwhelm you today, she says. But as I mentioned, there's so many different types of earth dragons. There is this kind of reverence and power of those dragons that have been potentially in the past given the job of guarding tumuli, of burial mounds, of guarding treasure, of guarding the earth, of guarding the land. You know, sacred sites would have had their powerful guardians, and they are still there. So just know that they've been there for many years. It is their job to guard the land, to protect the energy flow. But also, you know, the forest dragons, the dragons of the wood, are slightly different. They guard and protect that space. They are freedom loving, they are open-hearted, and they're a bit shy, but the meditation, I hope, will help you connect with them. But there are also things that people have called the dragon fae, the smaller dragons that connect with the flowers, with the roses, with the smaller but no less powerful aspects of nature and the land. So this doesn't have to be a quest of going out to find the ancient dragon of the earth. This could be in your garden and feel the connection to the spirits and the power that dwells within your land. So there's so many different elements and areas that we can connect with and work with, and it is very exciting. But also, please commit to one thing of self-care. Can be, and again, it doesn't have to be massive. Don't overcommit. You know, this could be, I'll give myself time without the phone on. I'll eat better this weekend. I'll just do something for myself. Just commit to one gentle move towards self-care. And gentleness itself could be that move towards self-care. And also, if you feel drawn, get your hands in the earth. Get your hands in planting things. Be creative this weekend or this week. Maybe you want to create something with clay. I know one of our group members already has made something beautiful with clay. But, you know, this isn't about a competition about being good. It's just about actually creating something that is homely and lovely and connects to the dragons for you. So you maybe want to get a bit of clay, air drying clay, and create something. Anything that connects you with the earth, which slows you down, which brings you into presence and communion with the dragons and with yourself, is all good. So treasures are also within us. They're also guarded by a dragon, probably fiercer than most. So when we're looking inwards, just know that there is also maybe a dragon that hasn't been checked on in a while, that's guarding us. And it's doing it because it loves us. It's doing it because it wants to protect something within us. So tread gently and lovingly, and we begin to unravel those treasures within as well as those treasures without. I love you all. Have a wonderful day and a wonderful weekend and a wonderful week. Share all your experiences if you can in the group, and I will talk to you soon. Take care. Bye.